Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. Let's begin with the practice question. Carbon border adjustment mechanism is related to which of the following groupings? European Union is the correct answer. The European Union is at the forefront of international efforts to fight climate change. As part of these efforts, the 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐴M is a climate measure that should prevent the risk of carbon leakage and support the EU's increased ambition on climate mitigation. It suggests taxing the imported goods-based difference between carbon used in the production of domestic and imported goods. It will come completely into force from January 1st, 2026. Moving on, Taranga Hills are located in Gujarat is the correct answer. Recently, Chairman of National Commission for Minorities has congratulated the PM of India for having approved Taranga Hill Ambaji Abu Road new rail line. Located 128 km north of Ahmedabad and only 20 km from Vadnagar, the three-peaked hill is significant for Buddhists and Jains in the state of Gujarat. While the oldest Jain temple was built in the 12th century, Buddhist monuments dating back to the 4th century on this hill. There are small shrines dedicated to the Buddhist goddess Devi Taranamata. Particularly, Taranga Hill is a pilgrimage center for the Jains wherein there are about 19 temples, out of which one temple, Jinalaya, is of Bhagwan Ajitnath Tirthankara, while Ambaji is a famous important pilgrimage destination and is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths in India. Iron beam defense system is related to which of the following countries? Israel is the correct answer. After the President of the USA landed in Israel for his first Middle East visit as president, Israel's military showed him its new iron beam defense system. It is an anti-drone laser system. It is most effective against short-range threats such as rockets, mortars, drones, and anti-tank missiles. It can engage such threats from up to 2,000 meters away. The first variant of the system is ground-based. Recently, a term freedom of navigation operations was in the news. It is related to, the correct answer is USA. Recently, a US destroyer sailed near the disputed Paracel Islands in the South China Sea, drawing an angry reaction from China. The US regularly carries out freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea to ensure free passage of ships. Freedom of navigation operations are operations by US naval and air forces that reinforce internationally recognized rights and freedoms by challenging excessive maritime claims. China seized control of the Paracel Islands from the then South Vietnamese government in 1974. Which of the following best describes the Cervavac? It is a vaccine. The Serum Institute of India's vaccine Cervavac recently received the Drugs Controller General of India's approval for market authorization. This is India's first quadrivalent human papillomavirus vaccine and intended to protect women against cervical cancer. The vaccine is based on VLP, similar to the hepatitis B vaccine. It provides protection by generating antibodies against the HPV virus's L1 protein. Cervical cancer is a common sexually transmitted infection. It is preventable, but kills one woman every 8 minutes in the country. Worldwide, it is the second most common cancer type and the second most common cause of cancer death in women of reproductive age. India accounts for about a fifth of the global burden. What is WASP-96b? It's an exoplanet. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has detected signs of water along with evidence for clouds and haze in the atmosphere of WASP-96b, which is an exoplanet, located roughly 1150 light years away in the southern sky constellation Phoenix. WASP-96b represents a type of gas giant that has no direct analog in our solar system. With a mass less than half that of Jupiter and a diameter 1.2 times greater, it is much puffier than any planet orbiting our Sun. With a temperature greater than 538 degrees Celsius, it is significantly hotter. Global Gender Gap Index is released by which of the following organizations? World Economic Forum is the correct answer. India ranks 135 among a total of 146 countries in the recently released Global Gender Gap Index 2022. India is the worst performer in the world in the Health and Survival Sub-Index, where it is ranked 146. In 2021, India ranked 140 among 156 countries on the index. Global Gender Gap Index is published by World Economic Forum, and the index benchmarks gender parity across four key dimensions: economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, political empowerment. The 27th Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change will be presided over by which of the following countries? Egypt is the correct answer. The 27th COP to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change will be presided over by Egypt. It will be held in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt in November 2022. There are hopes that the priorities of developing countries will be placed at front, including climate adaptation, climate finance, and loss and damage, among others. This event is also being termed as African COP, Adaptation COP, and Implementation COP. Meghalaya was carved out of Assam as a separate state in which of the following years? 1972, option B is the correct answer. Recently, some clashes took place in the upper Tarabari village, which is located on the Assam-Meghalaya border. It is one of the 6 disputed sectors that the Assam and Meghalaya governments resolved. The 884.9 kilometer boundary between the two states had 12 disputed sectors since Meghalaya was carved out of Assam in 1972. Green Grids Initiative was launched by which of the following countries? India and UK is the correct answer. India announced the launch of the Green Grids Initiative, One Sun, One World, One Grid, in partnership with the UK. It was conceived in 2018 to develop global interconnected solar energy system. In May 2021, India and UK committed to launching GGI-OSOWOG COP26. The initiative is expected to connect more than 80 countries across a large geographical area with varying levels of sunlight. Recently, a new species of evergreen tree of genus Miliusa has been found in which of the following biosphere reserves? 𝐾𝐫𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 Biosphere Reserve is the correct answer. Researchers have identified a new species of evergreen tree belonging to the genus Miliusa from the 𝐾𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 Biosphere Reserve in the southern arm of the Western Ghats. Only 2 mature trees of the species have been spotted so far in its natural habitat. The identification of the new species has also taken a total number of species of Miliusa found in India to 25. Evergreen forests of the southern Western Ghats are home to numerous endemic species, including 7 species of Miliusa. Department of Consumer Affairs has set up a committee to develop comprehensive framework on the right to repair. The chairperson of this committee will be Nidhi Khare, Anupam Mishra, Justice Paramjeet Singh Dhaliwal, Dr. J.S. Bajpai. Answer it correctly. Thank you so much for watching.